One thing to call out, which might be a hot take, is I think this is a signal for a lot of changes for Inter Milan. Yes. Oh, they're 34 and they're still doing it. Déjalos. Like, oh, I think now it's just like, okay, they did it, but can you get better younger players that will get you across that line? ¿Qué onda, mi Cesar?
¿Qué onda, Omar? Hey, relax, bro. Me toca a mi hora.
Let's go.
Welcome back, folks. I'll be your host today.
Go.
Porque Omar anda un poco malillo. Bueno, andamos los dos, ¿verdad? Pero
I need the help. Ayuda.
Pero ahora anda más Omar. Ahora le tocó a él.
Ayúdame.
¿Cómo
Mi
andas?
cabeza. I'm hurting. We'll see how many times I have to stop and cough, but right now, doing all right. Getting better.
Ganas. Yeah.
You got me sick. You were bad last week.
Yeah, I was bad last week. It was the week before that. It was like the weekend, and then we recorded last Wednesday. So at the scholarship fue cuando me dio más. Because I got like 3 hours of sleep, and then after that, my immune system was like, hey, yo.
Bro,
so me puse malo ese viernes y...
You take your vitamins and shit, bro.
I do, man. But
Yo no me enfermo, but cuando me enfermo, me pega gacho.
It's my only time I've gotten sick since Sacramento, remember? At New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Que me dio.
No manches, you get sick all the time. You're like perpetually sick.
But yeah, welcome back, folks, to another episode 152.
Let's go.
We're
Ahí vamos.
chugging along. Y ya toca otro episodio. We're excited to talk about Champions League, a little bit about TST at the beginning, transfers, Liga MX, Mi América, games to watch. Ustedes saben, de todo un poco. TST, Omar. I know you've been staying home. You stayed home yesterday, huh?
Been malito. Don't tell my boss. I'm actually been malito.
Malito, have you been watching TST?
Yeah, shit's pretty popping. The past couple of years, I've just seen like the championship or something like that. But no, I got it started yesterday, I think, and I got to watch some of the matches. There's way too many to watch.
Yeah.
There's like 48 teams now.
Y lo son during the day, you know,
Yeah.
donde la gente está trabajando, pero I do try to watch it cuando se puede, unos 5-10 minutos. Sí.
They go into the evening though, like your America, they have a squad, and they played in the evening against Newtown, who's the one that won it 2 years ago. So les tocó un pinche. No, that was Boca Dallas with Marco Fabian. They played against Newtown. Y les dieron en la madre.
Marco Fabian is playing with Boca.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Let's get into it because there's some names there.
A ver.
Your America has a full squad, and they brought Paul Aguilar.
Yeah, the America Twitter
Miguel
posted
Ayun.
them. Yeah, Miguel Ayun. So I'm raging coming out as a sub.
Yeah, Quick Goal FC for the content creator homies. Kevincho is like an ambassador or something for the team, and then they have Jimmy Conrad as coach.
Oh wow!
Because you just can't be pro.
Okay.
You have to be amateur or retired.
Yeah.
So there is Atletico Madrid has Diego Godin.
Diego Godin out there. Sergio Agüero's out
Kun
there.
Agüero's on a different team. A whole bunch of names. Tactical manager for people that know people on YouTube. He has a full team.
Oh wow.
That's where Leandro Damiao is on his team.
Is Leandro Damiao the one that was playing at Pumas?
No, I don't even know where, but I just remember him from La Selección. But there's a whole bunch of big names out there, even for the non-big names, who are the ones that usually win it.
Yeah.
Newtown Pride, like I mentioned, they won it 2 years ago, and then last year I think it was that Boca Dallas team, or I forgot who.
Yeah, I think the only thing I know is because ya van 3 años. This is their third
This
year.
is the third one.
They play 7v7s, and like we said, it's amateur or retired. Even Hope Solo's out there.
There's a women's side
the
last 2 years. The first year was combined,
Yeah.
and there was all women's team, and they were getting smacked.
Yeah.
This last year, they finally separated it. Now they made the women's side even bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some baller women's. Last year, the U.S. women's retired players had a squad out there, and they took it home. And like this year, I think they beat like North Carolina Courage last year.
Yeah.
So $1 million is humongous.
Yeah.
But catch us. We'll be making some content. I want to make some content watching some of the games. Hopefully they're not copyrighted. A ver si no me chingan.
A ver si no, yeah.
But no, it's a fun time, and we want to get a team out there.
A ver si nos dejan. So TST, hit our line. We know some ballers here.
A ver si nos animamos, because it's in North Carolina.
Yeah.
We have to miss a work week or two or something. I would sign up to be an assistant coach. I'm just saying.
Hey, es todo.
Yo no la armo. I mean, bro, there's some ballers out there. So, ¿quién la va a andar armando?
Yeah. I have a...
You can play starting keeper level, backup keeper at minimum.
Maybe backup, te la doy. Pero tengo un compa que I played with him at Hartnell. Y ese way, he became pro in the MASL. Mm-hmm. Que anda ahorita with the Saturdays football central.
Oh, he's on the team.
He's on the team, yeah. So his name is Julio Varela.
Oh, I have heard of him.
You've heard of him?
Yeah, back in the day.
So he's out there. He actually scored in the first game yesterday, or second game in the afternoon game. So ahí anda echándole gas. It's Soccer Central. I think half of the name for Soccer Central Indoor in Watsonville.
Oh,
I think that's how they did it.
No freaking way. So that Saturday's football, which is like an LA, New York brand, partnered with Watsonville and is taking 831 talent.
They took one Monterey Bay university student who played at Monterey Bay, and they took Julio.
No, that's bullshit. That's our territory.
So, I think ahí tiene una mancuerna y trajeron así.
No, we got
un equipo más o menos.
No, we got to get on it, folks, because we want to be the guys that show the world that the 831, Salinas, Watsonville, Santa Cruz, Hollister, the 408, Gilroy, San Jose has amazing ballers. We got to hurry up.
We do, yeah.
No, so yeah, catch my hate watches of America. And help us get the steamroll going to sign up for next year, because it's like 40 grand.
Oh, to enter.
It's 40 grand to enter.
Okay. A huevo.
And it makes sense now. 40 times 48 is like almost $1 million. So that's where they get the money.
Yeah.
I was always like, where do they get the money from?
So
it's that.
Buy some hats and scarves and shirts, folks. Para ayudarnos la alcancita.
I need our bank account to look good for when I go and try to convince players and coaches and stuff to be our part of the program, because they're gonna just be like, no.
¿Cuánto va a ser?
No, mucho. Oh, never mind.
All right, moving it on. Some good news out of La Federación Mexicana de Fútbol that I wanted to talk about. So just this week, La Federación Mexicana announced that they're doing un torneo infantil in all public schools. So they're doing a nationwide tournament, which involves about 6,000 public schools, about 1.8 million students. So hopefully they're doing both men and women, so boys and girls.
So,
and they're going to do it all throughout 32 states. Y va a ser un torneo, y el quien gane is like, the whole point of this tournament is to make sure the kids are staying active, make sure everybody's, enjoying the game, keep developing. And overall, I feel like this is really good and something that U.S. soccer should also try and do here in the States.
I mean, that's what the thing is. The U.S. has like a kind of school tournaments, like high school level, NCAA, which Mexico doesn't have, I don't think, high school or NCAA.
I think they
level, like how big it is. Right, they don't. No, they don't have. No. They don't have high school sports to that level.
Yeah,
and they don't have college sports to that level. So I think the U.S. has them on that end. But like, if this is at the school level, this almost sounds like they're taking a book out of the Japanese one. That's a high school, right? Like, they make it huge.
Japanese. Yeah, it's like the U.S. Open Cup, but high schools are included in that, domestic trophy.
I love that.
I love this from La Selección or La Federación Mexicana de Fútbol, and hopefully this turns, because it goes to 11v11s, and then cuando van a la prepa, entonces ahí es donde se meten a las escuelas o las academias, pues.
Okay.
Y de ahí siguen lo profesional. I think that's the idea behind doing something like this.
I mean, that's dope. I mean, it almost gives a bit of a sound like the King's Academy in Morocco. the one that's set up by the government,
Mm-hmm.
right? That brought out the Hakimis, brought out the Ziyech's of the world. Because it makes me wonder, like, I start overthinking it a little bit, but like, what team would they push them to?
Right.
No, they don't represent anybody, supposedly, La Federación. So it'd be cool if they had I don't know, like an academy for el Centro de Alto Rendimiento.
Yeah.
That was like, you know what? Let's
We'll
build little
produce
mini
some-
selecciones of kids del barrio from the states that don't have professional teams and bring them out here once a year to train at a high level.
Yeah, it also también like Brazil does. Brazil in every state has their own like tournament, even if you're not part of the first division. Like
It just ended. Yeah.
Yeah, and they just go second, third, fourth. So yeah, even if they had something like that, I feel like la selección mexicana would benefit at the end of the day.
Oh, for sure. It's more people playing because I mean, I think I've seen numbers that like footy overall is going down in as far as like reach goes in Mexico, because people are getting more interested into other things, overall fitness, other sports. Mexico's getting better at other sports. Like you see them at the Olympics now for different things that you didn't used to. So bringing that back to soccer is great. Hopefully gets us some more results.
All right, moving us along. We got Champions League last Saturday. So thank you. I wanted to say thank you all for those of you who made it to our watch party in Morgan Hill at the
Running Shop and Hops.
At the Running Shop and Hops. There was like about 10 of us there. It was a nice little group.
It was a nice little group for how hot it was.
It was hot, too.
Once we sat down and I saw how warm it was, I was like, fuck, bro, it's not going to be like... I would see people don't start flaking because it's fucking hot out. It was like almost 100. It was basically 100 degrees in Morgan Hill.
Yeah, we were playing pickup that same in the morning. Y eran como las 9, las 10 y ya andaba uno sweating, bro. It was hot.
No, dude, my feet, like, it felt like my feet were cooking.
Yeah.
Towards the end of it. And then I got home and like I for sure, like my feet were going through it. Like they were peeling. They were freaking hurting.
Yeah. Lo bueno que no te echaste agua, sino, you know how some people...
No, sí me eché half time. No, not on both. Just on one to see if it like made them feel fresher. And it just, I think it messed it up.
Yeah, it cooks. It literally cooks your feet. Yeah, I'm dead.
But I threw them on top.
No.
So I don't think that helped. But
we were there. They put us in a little corner, but we found a way to make it work and see the TV. Y más que nada, mirar la madriza que le dieron al Inter.
No, for sure, bro.
Overall, as we all know, PSG won 5-0. Inter no metió ni las manos, ni aunque querían. No shot on goals. I didn't really see Donnarumma making any saves. So it was a really, really bad time for Inter. But on the other hand, really good time for PSG as they won their first Champions League. What are your thoughts on the game? Can Inter have done? Did we expect more from Inter, or was just PSG that good?
PSG was just overall that good. I think their players were in a really good moment. A lot of us were talking about it before, like way before that. PSG was the most complete team, probably after Liverpool got eliminated, and then for sure after Barcelona got eliminated.
Yeah.
It was just their moment. It was their time. And we thought Inter could maybe sneak by with that experience, with the grit, with that Italian garra that they got. But even with two more players on the field, I don't think Inter could have even done anything.
Yeah, I think going into the game, for me, I was like, Inter are just going to lock it down and just hold on for dear life and find a way to just sneak one away, or ya que sea Bastoni, or ya que sea the 34-year-old center back that scored. That got
Acerbi.
Yeah, Acerbi to find a way to score. Lautaro Martinez or Thuram. To get them up to 1-0 and just PSG, we'd see a PSG that would just crumble under the pressure. The same old PSG / Tottenham that, you know, we were kind of used to. But no, this PSG literally said at the beginning of the kickoff They said, ahí te va el balón, close to your goal, out of bounds, y go press.
Yeah, which is the game plan of Luis Enriquez, no?
Yeah.
Like his game plan to just give you the ball and then start pressing you desde ese entonces. But I also thought if Inter doesn't get an early goal, if they can't keep it 0, if it's 1-0, they're down and they can't slap back right away, it's kind of over at that point. And once you start seeing, I mean, Hakimi's goal and then Doué came in and started just taking over the game. Things were just too easy. Counterattacks were too easy. That tiki-taka with those 3 center mids that everyone loves right now.
Yeah.
It was just way too easy for PSG.
Yeah, I thought it was just a repeat of the Barcelona game. But with PSG just being a bit more intense because they would just...
Well, they didn't let up like Barcelona.
Right.
Barcelona let Inter kind of
Yeah.
get into the game.
And I think maybe that was Luis Enrique's indication as like, it doesn't matter what minute of the game is, you press. And we saw that with Ousmane Dembele. I think it was him. Was it him? Yeah, I think it was him where he just tracked down back at the 83rd minute and won a ball. And it was just like, don't pedal to the metal a todo lo que da for the whole game. Y Inter just couldn't handle it.
No, yeah.
They would press and then they'd play this high line PSG and it just felt to me that Inter didn't do their homework.
Didn't do their homework, but also like I mean, you just can't. Sometimes the other teams are just too good. They're just stronger than you, faster than you, better tactically, no matter what.
But this bad? 5-0?
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, when they played against Manchester City 2 years ago, right? Everyone was like, bro, Inter Milan, God, any Serie A team would get wrecked by this Manchester City. And then they held out. They had their opportunities too. They had an amazing match. I thought that was them having a perfect match and not being able to get a result. They needed a perfect match here. They had far from a perfect match. And PSG basically had a perfect match. I would even argue that like it wasn't even that perfect of a match. And if Inter would have had a perfect match and PSG could have turned it on more, it would have been bad too. Yeah, just overall the quality was just there for PSG, and different from Barcelona, they have a bunch of different pieces that were just killing you. However, Kvaratskhelia, like I know
that was the one that tracked back.
I know he had like an amazing game, but like other players were definitely taking over early, and then all of a sudden he scores a banger of a goal, and I'm just like, the luxury for all of your players to be killing it, and then all of a sudden acá traes otra bestia, another gem that kills you. It was death by a thousand cuts. Like, pick your poison, my guy. El que tú quieras ahorita te clava un golazo.
Yeah, con rebotes y todo and off of corners. It was crazy, and we couldn't believe it. It was 5-0, and we're like, oh, maybe it's 6, maybe it's 7, maybe Omar gets enough corners, but he didn't.
No, I bet on corners, you guys. I don't know why I've been a DJ lately, and I bet on corners, and I didn't get it.
But, I mean, overall, really happy with Luis Enrique. I think he deserves it more than anything. I saw a bunch of videos of him, his first interview, saying que él iba a ganar Champions League.
With PSG?
Yeah, with PSG. And he knows, just like his daughter was there the first time he went to Barcelona, she will be there with him, even though it's not physically, but emotionally and spiritually.
Dude, that all those videos about his daughter were that shit was hitting. And then they put out the Tifu, right, with his daughter, and I was like, God damn, bro.
Absolute class from PSG fans.
Me estás haciendo aquí?
Just cutting the onions, Dios mío.
No, big shout outs to Luis Enrique. I think one thing to call out, which might be a hot take, is I think this is a signal for a lot of changes for Inter Milan, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, they're 34 and they're still doing it. Déjalos. Like, no, I think now it's just like, okay, they did it, but can you get better younger players that will get you across that line? Yeah. Don't forget, you didn't win Serie A either.
Copa de Italia tampoco.
And yeah, so I think you have to rejuvenate, maybe make 3 to 4 to 5 changes. Inzaghi's already out, apparently.
Right.
So the new coach will probably want something different. And I think it would help them. Maybe they might not get Champions League next year because it'll be new. But hopefully it's on the track to getting stronger.
To that final step, which is winning it.
To getting stronger,
Yeah. Well, there's always next year, but next year va a estar mi Newcastle, so cuidadito con ellos.
No, eso no asustan.
All right, taking it over to something that I don't really want to talk about, but let's talk about it anyways. Okay. CONCACAF playoff for the Club World Cup spot.
The rigged one. Made up con una pinche historia de Disney right now.
The Ghost Riders just put it in last second.
Cesar, let's just take a step back.
A ver.
These fools. There was a game a couple years back that two teams properly made it all the way to the final. One was called LAFC, one was called Leon. They played each other. LAFC was steamrolling teams. This little engine that could, Leon made it somehow. And then they ended up winning.
Yeah.
And then les quitan el pinche lugar to the Club World Cup a month before when the tickets were already sold to go to their games with their names on it. All the advertising has their names on it. They take it away. And then the FIFA goes to some board and then they say, yeah, let's take it away from them. And then FIFA decides, let's do a playoff between the team that they beat, fair.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, America. Like out of nowhere. And then people are like, were they in the tournament at all? No, they weren't even, like, they didn't even make it far in that tournament.
Yeah.
It's because they're the highest ranked in CONCACAF right now.
A huevo.
What does that have to do with anything?
Okay, now let me ask you this. Based on what happened, do you feel like it was justo el ganador and they deserved it y ya estuvo?
Yeah, they deserved it without playing the game, without needing to play the game. First off,
yeah, ya estuvo.
Leon should have been there no matter what. It's not their fault. They were told a month before. They knew the whole time they were multipropiedad.
I agree with you there.
Everyone should have backed them up. America should have backed them up.
Right.
They didn't.
Should have.
They didn't.
Pero a la misma vez
Equipo chico.
me vas a decir, hey, you're going to have a chance to go.
Uh-huh.
You're going to say no?
No, you're not going to say no, but
Chivas,
you're not going to say no, but show some fucking backbone, bro. Fucking amárrate los huevitos y di, like, bro, that's not fair.
We're trying to go también y no se pudo. Y
qué bueno que no.
Ahora todos felices.
We
weren't going anyways.
Even so happier. No, but yeah, I mean, that's the way that it goes. So America plays LAFC. And just kind of going off of that same drama, Leon ownership, taking pictures wearing LAFC stuff.
I did not see that, but I'm not surprised if they did.
The hijo de Pachuca that owns Leon, he was taking pictures. I think he was at the game and was hanging with LAFC people. I don't remember if that's true, but he was definitely like had an LAFC jersey or something.
Oh, wow. Wow, lo que pasan las cosas y...
And then he tweeted something after the game about it.
Ball don't lie. LAFC won it y ya estuvo. Yeah.
For real? What, 2-1?
Yeah, America lost 2-1. They were up 1-0 with the penal. Keep in mind, I didn't watch the game. I felt kind of shameful watching the game.
Yeah.
Ay, güey, tantita vergüenza.
Tener vergüenza, por favor.
Pero, I mean, America ended up losing and... Overall, just America, it seems like it's just been a rough few weeks. Que has, with this game, definitely showed us that the America that we've known for the past 3 or 4 seasons, dio lo que tuvo que dar. Y ahora you need a completely new revamp of at least half of the team. Con todo respeto.
Damn. Let's get into the game. So they score 1-0. Chiquito Sanchez penalty. He gets smacked. And then Brian Rodriguez scores it.
Against his ex-club.
The penal against his ex-club. And On DAZN, on the highlights, they called him Alejandro Sendejas the whole time.
No manches.
And I was like, bro,
Oh my god,
so cringe.
That's embarrassing, DAZN.
And then in the 89th minute, right? Who scored? Boanga scored both of them.
Right. So one was off of a corner, and then the second one was a PK.
So the 89th one off of the corner. 1 minute to go.
Oh yeah, because it was an extra time. Yeah.
1 minute to go for the game, and your boy Jardine makes 2 subs. He takes out Brian Rodriguez, and he takes out Alejandro Sendejas, and he puts in my tocayo Vasquez, and he puts in Chicote Calderon. Puts in 2 defenders to close out the match, not knowing that if you get scored on one more time, who's going to attack?
Yeah.
You just took out the best player in CONCACAF, probably, Alejandro Sendejas. And the guy that just scored the only goal that you scored. You know what was even funnier? Sendejas was getting like shimmied out of the game because he didn't want to go out. He was taking his time, and they were pushing him and pushing him. And he just kept like, haciéndose el pendejo. And like, yeah. And he wouldn't go. He didn't even get a yellow card, but he was like talking shit to LAFC. And then they sub in, and on that play, they get scored on.
Yeah, I remember the Discord going up in flames because they were like, why are we subbing in a corner? You never sub in a corner.
You're not supposed to sub on free kicks.
Yeah, or corners. Or
any set piece.
Yeah, any set piece play.
Because
los que entran no tienen la misma intensidad.
One, they're not ready for that play.
Right.
They didn't sign up for it. They're not calentados. They're not ready for it. But then if it ends up affecting the score, they're in a brand new ball game.
Right. Whatever tactics you
told them go in and defend.
Yeah, don't work anymore because now
you're tied.
Yeah.
And you don't have to defend.
Now the game plan is different. Ay, Dios
and
mío.
you put in 2 guys, 2 defenders when you already have 4 in there. So, yeah, that completely threw off the game. Then you start banking on like Valdez and like all these players.
Diego Valdez and
Dilrosun.
Yeah, came in at the 91st. Again, these 2 players have not had their best moments in months. I don't think, especially Diego Valdez. Injuries and just not being en su mejor momento. And Jairo Dilrosun hasn't really produced what we expected of him, right? So this America just felt toothless at the end.
Yep. No, for sure. And then it ended up in that you play an LAFC who's pretty strong, offensively really good. Giroud is there, Boanga is there.
Una pinche dolor de cabeza. I saw some plays. Cáceres was having issues with him. Reyes was having issues. Ramon Juarez later.
With Giroud.
Yeah.
Yeah, still a big body.
Big body que sabe headers, retener el balón, draw a foul. It's just like, it was horrible for them.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he did on the play of the goal, like the 112th. He gets the ball in, holds it up, basically just drops it off for Boanga running in. Boom, golazo.
Yeah.
Almost like túnel, no? Casi le hizo a Malagón, I think.
I don't know. I didn't even want to see it. When America loses, I rarely want to see the fucking game.
And that eliminated your boys.
Yeah, and then I get hit up on my DMs. Nico, en un penal dado. Pueden ganar. Bro, shut up.
Your boys.
Fuck up, bro.
Your boys are hurting. They got torched. Kevin Alvarez got torched the whole game.
Kevin Alvarez needs to go, in my opinion. There's a lot. We'll
go
talk,
where?
I'll talk about it.
We'll take him on Chivas gratis.
Yeah, te lo doy.
Yes, paid fucking 11 million for him.
I don't care for him, bro. He needs to go.
He was mid-season. He was probably one of the best outside backs in the season.
Yeah, until we actually needed him.
You needed the whole team, and nobody was showing up.
No, there's just certain
The only players that showed up was like Sendejas in one game, Brian Rodriguez in another game, but no, Henry in some games.
Until he got injured. Yeah.
No, you guys
it just felt like this America just wasn't at what we expected of them.
Yeah, give us Kevin for cheap. I'll take it.
Yeah. Ahorita le llamo al jefe.
Unos 2-3, that'd be good. Who else from America? What do you want gone?
Brian Rodriguez, Cristian Calderon needs to go. Diego Valdez, Javairu.
Cáceres.
Really like Davila. Cáceres stays. Reyes stays. Malagón, Fidalgo, Cervantes, Borja.
Cáceres can't leave. He's got a little romance thing. He can't leave.
Cáceres?
Yeah, he can't leave La Ciudad de Mexico.
Huevo.
He can't leave La Ciudad de Mexico.
And he's really good. I think he's actually one of the better center backs in the league.
Rumors to Europe.
UEFA Nations League. It was the semis yesterday being yesterday being Wednesday and today Thursday. Juegazos que nos dieron. The first one on Wednesday, Portugal, Germany. Portugal came back to defeat poderosísima Alemania 2-1. Los German strikers nomás no pudieron.
No, I mean, it's not the same Germany as before.
Right.
Que es el old dicho? 11 versus 11, Germans always win, se dice. No? That's what my Uber driver told me when I told him that Mexico was going to beat Germany. Ahead of the...
Oh, cuando estamos allá?
Ahead of the...
2018?
Ahead of the 2018 World Cup, I was going to Mexico match at Levi's. I forgot who it was against. And I was in an Uber over there. And my Uber driver was Irani, I think. Something like that. Maybe from Iraq. And he knew soccer. He knew a good amount of footy. And we were just talking. And then he's like, what do you think about Mexico in the World Cup? And I was like, I mean, everyone's got a chance. And then he's like, you got Germany. You got no chance. And I told him, oh, well, just watch. Surprises happen. I think Mexico has a chance against Germany. And then he's like, 11 versus 11, Germans always win.
Oh.
But no se dio la cosa.
Esa vez no se dio. Juan Carlos Osorio was in the way.
Tampoco right here, Roberto Martinez, who we always cook on here.
Somebody I've always been like bagging, diciendo que en Belgium no hizo nada, que chingados lo traen a Portugal.
I still don't think is deshumano. This Portuguese squad is like the freaking most stacked Portuguese squad of all time.
Yeah, I mean, that whole Portuguese league has been pumping out players left and right.
There's been those posts that have they have 48 amazing first team players that they could call up when Mexico's barely got 11 to field.
9 that are actually really good, or 8 or less.
They have the top outside backs in the world. They have the top center mids in the world.
Yeah.
They still sadly have to play Ronaldo up top though. They played him. He got a goal.
But he did. Yeah, right. El gol que metió fue de chilena o...
No mames. No.
And that's the one that was called offsides?
No, he didn't score chilena.
Yeah, he scored like a wannabe chilena.
No, there was one that he was offsides, but I don't think it was a chilena either. No, but Florian Wirtz scored a goal in the first half. No, at the beginning of the second half.
Yeah.
The new Liverpool rumored signee.
Ta played Ter Stegen coming back after a little bit of drama at Barcelona and actually having a decent game.
He had a really good game.
First half, I think there was the only downside that he had was his distribution wasn't top tier that we know of him. But I don't remember if it was in the first or the second half, where typical German stance as a goalie, donde te paras bien parado, una le das aquí a lo Neuer y la otra punch it out, like a double save. He got really good, and it's just typical freaking German goalkeepers, just a lo seco, ahí te paras y hasta que me tumbes, güey. Justo ganador, or do you think Germany should have won this game?
No, Portugal is strong.
Yeah.
I think they had it. I honestly thought Cristiano Ronaldo was holding them back.
Right.
And I was like, bro, so many good players. Like, you could play no 9, false 9, and just cook this team. But I thought they were little by little getting more into the game. Even with Ronaldo, I think he had one disallowed or one really close one. He had a sliding one that he just didn't reach it. And I was like, ay, viejito. But,
I mean, 2-3 years ago, sí podía.
But they put Conceição in, and that dude was a fucking rocket on the wing. I was like, God damn, Arsenal signed this kid. He came in con unas ganas.
Yeah, this is perfect for you to see players, because he says, wait, ¿por qué no se vienen a...?
Pues todos. That's what the Euros was when I fell in love with Federico Chiesa a couple Euros back. And when Italy won it, I was like, bruh, ese me gusta pa mi Arsenal. Llévenselo. In the 68th, Ronaldo got his last laugh. He was able to get his goal in. A lot of people saying que Ronaldo is Está dando fruto todavía a los cuarentones, a los 40 años.
No pues, doctor.
Your goat can't say that.
Hey, my goat. Ahorita está jugando, ¿ok? No le digas nada.
No, he's on the bench. Messi's on the bench right now for Argentina.
It feels like we kind of knew this, like, because Cristiano Ronaldo has been like a gym machine, un güey que se cuida lo físico a lo máximo, recovery igual. Lo miras, he still looks relatively young compared to Messi. I feel like Messi, as he's gotten older, como, people get older, they get kind of grouchy.
Well, Messi just doesn't have to run or anything. He doesn't have to be that physical.
Right.
So
no es su forte, ¿verdad?
In all honesty, I think Messi has like a regimen that he's like, hey, I check my stats and every game I run 3 miles. I'm going to train to only run 3 miles.
Oh, manches.
And then he like is at practice and then it tells him he ran 3 miles. He's like, hey.
Ya estuvo.
No, I think he just trains to be at his level, which is obviously optimum, best of all time. But like, everyone's always said it before. If he had the effort level of Ronaldo, no hombre, que fuera, ¿no?
No, sí, pero
Ronaldo's a fucking...
Vamos a decir lo mismo a Ronaldo, ¿no? Si tuviera lo de Messi, no, lo natural.
But that's natural.
40 years old, still doing well, most likely leaving Al Nassr. Who knows where? A lo mejor a Monterrey. But still doing well, still playing for Portugal. Y ahora le toca jugar otra final con ellos. ¿Con quién? Talking about the next game. France against Spain. They played today. Francia almost pulled an Inter. Almost. They were down 4-0 at the 55th minute. So who scored the first goal? Williams. Nico Williams. Then you had Merino, the Arsenal player, striker that plays his natural position for Spain. Not striker.
I'm dead.
Lamine Yamal with the penalty at the 54th and Pedri at the 55th. And that's when France decided, you know what? Let me throw some hands too.
Mm-hmm. ¿A la mano de quién?
A la mano de Mbappé.
Tenía que ser.
Otro penal. Which, pinche penal de Pedro Porro que cometió.
For real?
Bruh, it was like WWE out there. Lo jaló y dijo, sácate. Y Mbappé sold it. And they were on the score sheet.
I mean, Mbappé had to come up with something like that. Because de otra manera no iban a dar. Because the whole first half, the beginning of the first half, France had their chances. Unai Simon would come in clutch and saved a couple of really big ones. De Dembele saved one. De Mbappé saved lo que le tiraban. He would save it. And then también sometimes Mbappé had some fucking stinkers. Yeah, Mbappé would shoot it straight at Simon and Simon would have a really good block. But you're like, okay, we need something different. Pues cae el penal.
Cae el penal, scores it well. Y lo de ahí, Chekri at the 79th.
That was the biggest thing, is a big change of pace for the rest of the game. Why did they have 3 goals así de un chingadazo after the 79th? That dude, Ryan Cherki, this 21-year-old French kid, comes in for France, and he starts cooking.
Out of Lyon, yeah.
Empieza a mover todo, güey. Because France is a whole bunch of running players.
Right.
Es Mbappé, es Dembele, es Doué, whatever.
Igual.
Todo, que tú quieras. They're all there and they're just running. Pero ¿quién te va a dar? ¿Quién reparte el queso?
Right.
Who's Zidane in the middle? Who is Thierry Henry who can glue things together? If you think about it, you're like, who's in the middle? Nobody, but nobody. And this dude goes in, like, de los 10 de antes. And he started moving the ball around.
He plays. Did he come in and play like that 10? Or
he was all over the place. He was a little bit to the left, but was doing crosses all the way over.
Because on FootMob, they have him as a right winger, but he does have attacking midfielder slightly highlighted, meaning he also plays attacking midfielder.
Andaba libre, güey. Because he scored the goal off of like a set piece que le cayó right outside of the box a little bit to the right. And off of almost like a chest trap mocos. But most of his really good plays were like kind of getting on the left, moving it to the middle, over to the right. Like,
pero más libero, so somebody...
Yeah, he was moving everywhere.
Está bien. I feel like more and more we're losing these 10s that just tend to, have that magic in their feet. Era un Cuauhtémoc Blanco, un Bofo, un Zidane, un Ronaldinho, and
That's what France needed here. They had all the running that they needed, but he came in and really helped them out. But they ran out of time.
No, Ousmane Dembele, this was the biggest match he needed, or to make it to the final. Para levantar la mano for the Ballon d'Or. He had a couple, but like you said, Unai Simon was just coming up big, and also the defenders Spanish defenders were good enough to the point where they neutralized them, especially in that first half.
Yeah, they got some good moment players, right? Huijsen, el defensor that just got signed by Real Madrid.
Real Madrid.
He actually scored a goal that got taken back.
Oh, wow.
Cucurellas at a super high level. Pedro Porro had a shaky season, but I mean, I feel like they have some big names there por todos lados.
Lenormand también, who was rumored to go to Arsenal, no?
Nah, ese güey no la quiere ir. That full fucking. He's been sucking at Atletico, no? He's like their bench of their bench of their bench. But I mean, right now todo le sale a España. That's the big thing. And I think one of the bigger things in the match was I was super excited for like a battle of Ballon d'Or winners.
Right.
Who's gonna win it? Right. Everyone was like, I was saying, Dembele's got to score, do something to back us all up that think that you're the best player right now. No anotó, but he had a baller game.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end, como dicen todos, like sometimes stats will carry you across the line. And on the other side, the flip side of things, Yamal had 2 goals and looked really well también out there. He had that PK that took it like he was a grown-ass man, even though he's 17. And then he had that other goal where he just outpaced and was able to sneak one in con la uña enterrada que tiene.
Dude, that was crazy to do a lefty.
Yeah, but it's shit like that like makes you look like a special person, like a special kid, special athlete out there. And those are the things that hopefully who I think should win it and will carry him. Yeah, who should be able to carry him across the line, especially if he wins the Euros.
I mean, yeah, from a number standpoint, for sure. Accolades. I mean, at this point, he's further than Dembele, right? He made it to the final. I think an underrated one that's on here that had a baller game, Pedri, scored también.
Yeah.
Scored an amazing goal. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, really good goal.
But I think underrated there. So I was going to make a joke that, like, we definitely saw the next Ballon d'Or winner, and I would be like, Pedri. But, I mean, each of these have their own merits. Y a ver, pues, qué sale.
Definitely
Spain still has to win it.
After the Messi and Ronaldo dynasty that they left us, todo parece más reñido once it comes down to these Ballon d'Oros. Like Rodri winning it and Modric winning it, and who won it last year? Rodri won it last year.
Rodri won it last year.
Yeah. So this year's the same thing. Like there's no clear front runner.
Give it to a defender.
¿A quién?
Saliba. I'm just kidding.
Oh, yes,
I don't know. Dan Burn.
But Spain against Portugal in the final. That's going to take place June 8th. So that is 3 days from now, Sunday. Let us know, who do you think is going to win? Jump in the Discord, Chardes Madre. Because who do you got?
I think Spain's going to win it.
Yeah, La Furia Roja definitely has.
Spain's got the moment, but who knows, bro? Like, I think Roberto Martinez has just got a time when to get Ronaldo out of there. Like, I get it. He scored super late, so then you're just like, oh, leave him in there. Maybe he'll do something. But at a certain point, bro, like, mete tu mejor young squad.
Especially if you're down, losing. Tienes que sacar y meter un revulsivo. Because you got plenty of those, Portugal. Talking about France, there's a tournament, the Maurice Revello tournament that Mexico always sends a team over there. Like, I know it used to be called Torneo de Toulon.
Mm-hmm.
Fue cuando México la ganó en el 2012, right before the Olympics in London, which they also went on and win it. Mexico sent the U20s this time around, improving from past U23s that they've been sending. Something that we've always called out and said, why don't you take younger squads when the whole tournament usually takes under 20s, under 19s. Japan did it one year, sometimes even under 18s. So they had their first game. Their first game was against Denmark, which unfortunately they drew a 3-3. What a thriller of a game. that we'll get into, and then ultimately lost in penalties. But I mean, overall, your thoughts, Omar, on this?
I thought it was good for Mexico overall to take U20s. So I will take everything with a grain of salt because they used to take U23s. So now with U20s, I'm head over heels. They could lose every single fucking game. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Just don't take U23s to get smacked by France's U18s, which I think happened last time. So really glad about that. Denmark had some baller players. They have Obi, this dude that plays for freaking Manchester United, and he balled out against Mexico. So for a first game for these kids, I think it's pretty good. They were never up. They were down 1-0, 2-1, 3-2.
Yeah.
I think they showed they could smack back whenever they need to. They're never out. They could be down but not out. But unfortunately, I would love for them to get out on the front foot.
Yeah.
Be up in a game, hold the lead. Don't try to come back from behind. Propose a little bit more, which could have happened this game. They were showing really good stuff, and then they got scored on a big blunder, keeper blunder.
Yeah, which was unfortunate. Denmark took it down the left side. Keeper's right side. He come out prematurely, and Denmark probably just passes it towards the middle, and they just score that way when the keeper was out. But my biggest takeaway is, like, overall, yes, Mexico's able to smack back and come back and score. But for me, it always seemed like they were almost, they were being out-physicaled, so they had to rely on their speed and quickness.
Yeah,
and I think
some tiny dudes.
And I think that's overall what Mexico has. Yo lo digo, even with the youth players that I see around NorCal when I'm coaching, is a lot of Hispanic players van y mándalo y dásela a un fulano de tal porque es el más rápido. He's the fastest. He can,
especially at youth levels. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, that one guy's the fastest. Send him.
And it just feels like it's always that hustle, which I love, but at the same time, I wish we didn't rely on it so much, because there's going to come a point where center backs are going to be able to read it, or center mids are going to be able to stop that, big hoof of a ball up to the forward, or the goalie's just going to step up and be a bit further. So overall, like, I really hope this team is able to find a style of play that is not just, let's just rely on that one fast left winger that plays at Chivas, Tapatio, or just find a way, so have more of a game plan. Because I felt like Denmark had that a bit more, had that style a bit better. But we just need, hopefully he gives enough time to kind of work this out.
Yeah, I think next game can hopefully allow it. Mexico at the beginning of the game, until they got scored on the 11th, they looked good, calmaditos, tiki-taka, impose our style of play until they got scored on. And then they started trying, in my opinion, to try to force things, to try to get closer, to try to score however they could, because we don't know if we'll get another chance. And then right before the half was that, like you mentioned, hoof of a ball, the Yael Padilla, amazing ball over the back line. And this dude, Virgen, who I'd never heard of before, striker from like Toluca or something, gets a great run in and gets a goal behind the line. Like, if you look at it in real time, it looked like they cooked that in practice. It looked really well put together. But when you think about it, it was just a ball over the top, and this guy made a great run.
Yeah, and it was lucky he partió de la mitad del campo, right? He wasn't offside.
So it worked out, and then after that, every time they would get scored on in the 69th and then 94th, it seemed like they kind of would go back to it. Okay, well, let's send it over the top, and let's just hustle over there and try to get a goal. That's what Uribe, Juan Uribe's goal, the Chivas, was. He gets it over the top. He's back there. He's fighting through defenders. He fights with the keeper, and he pushes it in. And then Tayel Jimenez at right when the ref was about to call it, scores the tying goal, barely to give Mexico a chance. But unfortunately, in penalties, it doesn't go their way. But that's what I'm saying. Next game, hopefully, against Japan, we know is very system-based. Hopefully, they set their feet on the ground. They could play a little bit better. and get up early, hopefully.
Yeah, so going over their group, they got Japan, who brought their U20s. So this whole group brought the U20s. There's only one team in the tournament that brought their U23s. So they got Japan, it's Denmark, Mexico, and Congo. Japan did beat Congo 2-0. As we know, Japan, like you said, very systematic, very disciplined, very quick, tactical. And then Mexico is at 1 point. Denmark has 2 because they won the penalty shootout. And then Japan has 3 full points.
Which is good for Mexico that they were able to get that 1 point. And I mean, Congo losing 2-0 to Japan is kind of nice for Mexico. Makes you feel like maybe Mexico can smack them, can beat them by a lot.
Mexico does play Japan next. So ahí es donde vas a saber si vas a entrar a la siguiente ronda o no. But yeah, I mean, this is a great tournament for all these teams to kind of, play and get used to international tournaments. And, overall, it helps everybody out. 2 CONCACAF teams this year. A ver si Mexico le echa ganas y at least make it to the next round and face some other teams.
For sure.
But like we said, really happy they're taking a U20 this year. Now moving us to the transfer hub. We're going to do some quick transfer updates for you guys. Starting us off with Dean Hudson. Que de dónde es francés o sepa.
Plays at Bournemouth.
Played at Bournemouth. Moving to Real Madrid, a 20-year-old who had a breakout season this season with Bournemouth. And had his debut with the Spanish national team back in March. And now is starting in a semifinal against France. His move was for $45 million, and it's there until 2030.
Damn.
¿Qué piensas?
I mean,
bueno o no?
I mean, para Real Madrid, I think it's perfect.
Plug and play, ¿verdad?
I see him getting torched a lot on Twitter because people are, I think one of the last matches with Bournemouth, they played, I think, City or somebody, and he got cooked on a play. And people are like, this is your king, Real Madrid. And I'm like, bruh, every center back gets torched by somebody.
Yeah.
But, like, he is the best at his age, hands down, probably in the world.
Yeah. Oh, Cubarsi's up there, too, con todo respeto.
But he's older. I'm saying for his, like, exact age. Right?
Cubarsi's younger.
Huijsen is older.
Oh, okay. Sí.
No, but, I mean, who else could you have wanted? You're not going to go get Cubarsi. He's got $1 billion transfer friggin' thing. Yeah. Right? So I think they got the best player they could have, and it was the best. It's what they needed. They needed defenders.
Yeah, and I think whenever somebody, at least most players, whenever they move over to Real Madrid and, they come from teams who've been playing, donde han estado jugando, como Dean, they always give you that a bit extra porque es un lugar como Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Te da ese extra. So excited for the Spanish League, excited to have a Real Madrid that's competitive again against our Barcelona, even though we've loved this past season. Pero, I mean, it always gets fun. I say this about Chivas, like, we want la rivalidad que siga creciendo.
I still think he's not the solution for the defenders.
Right, he's like only part of it, right?
Because the same way, yes, you make fun of him because he gets torched. He's not going to run after Yamal.
Right.
They still need fast outside backs. He's not the solution to take down Rafinha, right? He is a very good center back so that they can solve all those problems, having Chomani back there and all these things. But they need more.
Yeah, moving us to the Premier League, we got Mateus Cunha from Wolves, who had a really good season. Now moving to Manchester United for $57 million until 2030 también. I thought he was going to Arsenal, was he not?
And that was the rumor.
Okay, so it was a rumor.
La cosa.
Yeah, going to United in these times is kind of crazy for me.
I mean, United still has that
reputation,
overall aura that you want to go there, right? There's players that are picking to go to Real Madrid instead of other teams because it's Real Madrid. Right? Manchester United también is up there as one of the biggest clubs of all time. Just that they're in a very bad moment right now. And who knows, maybe even some players are coming with the superhero complex, ¿verdad? They're like, I'm the guy that's going to fix it.
Yo puedo.
Alguien tiene que, ¿por qué no yo?
Right. No. Buena apuesta by Manchester United. $57 million seems like a reasonable price for him. Yeah. Not bad at all. Hopefully he kills it out there. Moving it to Liverpool, we got Jeremy Frimpong. Huge pickup after Trent left to Real Madrid. I think this is a better bet than it was keeping Trent. So en esta yo pienso que salió ganando Liverpool. What do you think?
I mean, baller pickup, is way better defensively.
Younger.
They can lock him up in a correct fashion to where they can actually get money for him later,
Right.
like they did with Trent. I mean, the thing that they're just gonna miss is Trent's precision.
Right.
That dude, te lo ponía donde quería. This guy, from what I've seen, great in swinging balls, but the precision that Trent gave you on passes and free kicks and all this sort of stuff is different.
Like free kicks and corner kicks, like you have McAllister there.
Yeah. I think net overall is a big plus.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It would have been an even bigger plus if they would have gotten more money for TAA, like they should have, triple digits almost or something.
Yeah.
But I think great business by Liverpool. Unfortunately, somebody should have stopped them. We should not be letting the champions have all of this freaking fun.
Yeah, which they had that one young right back that I was like, yo, like
Connor Bradley. I remember.
Yeah, like somebody should have stopped them, and even if they would have had to play Connor Bradley, I don't think they would have been in such bad position.
If luxury to have that kid. He's they just extended his contract though, so he's good. He's probably just
Dinerito más.
I think they're setting themselves up to be a stacked, deep squad.
Correct.
In multiple competitions, they're probably coming for Champions League.
Yeah, they should.
I mean, with Connor Bradley as your backup, I think that's good.
Yeah.
Figure out the rest.
Moving to South America, Kendry Paez, somebody we haven't mentioned so much, finally turned 18 back in May from Independiente del Valle, who's been crazy pumping players. Like Ecuador has been pumping players, like the PSG center back, William Pacho.
Oh, he's from Del Valle?
Yeah, he's from Independiente. También I don't know if Hincapié is from Independiente, but he's from Ecuador. Yeah, I was watching because Ecuador was playing Brazil.
Caicedo's from there.
Yeah, I think there's one or two players in the lineup against Brazil that were over 23. Everybody else is under 23.
Today?
Yeah, today. It's crazy. I think what's that left back from Brighton? Estupiñano was like 27, like 26, algo así. Yeah, Ecuador. But anyways, back to Kendry Paez going to Chelsea, one of the brightest stars from Ecuador, 18-year-old. Como un 10, como un libero también that likes playing on the left wing. Excited to see him, and hopefully it's not like another Endrick which just sits on the bench and nothing else.
That's hate. I mean, I haven't seen this kid too much.
Right.
But I can only assume how good he is. I've seen a couple of his games with Ecuador, and hombrecito for being 17 years old and having to play against the South American squads. Yeah. Like I can at least see like the vision there because he's a kid doing this. I'm excited to see him. I still need a little bit more. I need to see a little bit more of his talent over there. I don't know if he's plug and play starter, plug and play rotation. I think he might need a bit of work, but prove me wrong. A ver qué pasa.
Yeah, still super young, 18-year-olds, and I know from Lamine Yamal, maybe it's just time to go with the younger players.
I mean, right now that's the meta right now. Agárrate los morritos, and they're gonna. Before it was like hoard them, right? Get them así, put them in your inferiores, and then sell them for way more later. Right now, it's like get them, and I need them today on my team, my guy. Because my 30-year-old isn't doing it.
Yeah,
I need a 17-year-old. And you're like,
que le eche gas.
And I'll do you one better. One that we didn't put on here. Franco Mastantuono del River Plate.
Hey, what'd you call me?
I
did see that name. I saw that name, and I was like, who? Yo no sé quién es.
He's the stud, not just a player on River Plate. The guy. The River Plate at 17 years old. He is the star player. He scored that amazing golazo in the Clásico against Boca Juniors.
Oh, that's that guy.
Freaking 40-yard banger.
Against the wind.
Against the wind. And yeah, he's this wonder kid that supposedly was being eyed by PSG. And just now, he just got confirmed that he decided to change his mind and he's going to Real Madrid.
Híjole.
This guy's ready to play. Este sí te la creo. Ready to play.
To plug and play. Dale
this guy, todo. He's on the bench for Argentina today.
Damn.
This guy is...
Bro, these South American nations just pumping out players. Nosotros, we got Gilberto Mora. A huevo.
I think Mexico's in good hands with Gilberto Mora. I see that kid and my eyes light up. Se me brillan los ojos. That kid, the way that he carries the ball, con una intención to want to go forward. We need some rumors about him. I'll start one right now. To Brighton. Let's get. I'm just kidding. To Arsenal. Nice. No, someone needs to sign Gilberto Mora. He's obviously they are those two guys, Baez and Mastantuono. They're protagonistas of their teams. He is still like a revelation. He's still a huge promise. They are in their moments already, but I think
they're like 2 years older as well.
Somebody needs to take a gamble.
Yeah, he needs to go to the Netherlands. So un PSV, un Ajax.
He's past that level.
Development league.
His potential is way past that level.
No vamos a hacer otro Diego Lainez.
I'll take him at Brighton. Straight to the Premier League.
That's a hot take in my opinion. He should go to developmental league for sure.
The developmental leagues are for the freaking 22-year-old. No, Chino Huerta could have gone straight to. He could have gone straight to the Premier League, but he would have had to learn a tough lesson. But no, this kid at 16, I'm gonna straight to freaking. Straight to Villarreal. I'm gonna plug and play.
I don't know. We'll see. Games to watch, Omar. Let's go.
I'll start off this time. I got BFC versus Portland Thorns this weekend. My BFC needs some wins, and we'll do it against my other favorite team in NWSL, Portland Thorns.
Hey. We're going to take it to a friendly. We got Mexico against Switzerland this Saturday. Can Mexico with their lineup? They just dropped it with these new faces like Efrain Alvarez, with Marcel Ruiz. Can with Ochoa, this new guy, Guillermo Ochoa, we've never seen before. Can these guys actually put on a good show? Que se mire la mano de Javier Aguirre, que se mire la mano de Rafa Márquez, and nos ilusionen ahead of the World Cup in next year, 2026.
And keep an eye out for some Mexico content coming your way. I got the Maurice Revello tournament, the Esperanza de Toulon, Japan versus Mexico there on Saturday. Mexico needs to win sí o sí. I think it's going to be a huge test for this team as well. It'll be a lesson learned if they lose. It'll be a humongous W if they win against this Japan youth squad. And if they win, they're on to the next round. Vámonos.
Taking it to CONMEBOL qualifications, we got Argentina against Colombia. Argentina is sitting pretty at first place, but Colombia, on the other hand, in between repechaje and going in directo. So the next few matches for teams like Colombia, teams like Venezuela, Uruguay, who just lost, are very important. Y un Argentina-Colombia, you can't miss that one, folks.
Lastly, I got the La Liga 2 semifinal match for promotion. Almería versus Real Oviedo. Real Oviedo, who is part of Grupo Orlegui. They're going to try to be the first of those groups of them and Grupo Pachuca to get their teams up to La Primera in España.
And the UEFA Nations League Championship final. Like we said, Portugal against Spain. I got Spain winning this, but Portugal, that midfield, those youth players, and Cristiano Ronaldo can give us a surprise. That'll be this Sunday. Tune in, jump in the Discord, like we said. Y echar desmadre que gana el mejor.
All right, well, that's all that we got, Cesar.
Take us home, Omar. Ahora que
I'm gonna
tocó a mí.
Yeah, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Follow us on all social medias. Get us back over 400 subs on YouTube because we went on below it. Yeah.
Wow, that's fucked up, guys.
Yeah, keep following us and let us know what kind of content you want. We got more, Bonus content coming soon. We'll talk soon.
Peace, guys.
Peace.